So this doesn't have to be a fine chop. A rough chop is fine. Okay, when you work with polenta, you always want to use a wooden spoon. When you're cooking at any time, you always want to use a wooden spoon because you don't want the aluminum to react with metal. Okay, that looks good. We're gonna add our chicken stock. I'd say a couple cans of chicken stock. The amount of polenta that we're gonna make today is gonna be able to serve with a whole lamb, and that lamb is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds. Add our polenta in. Add our, I love this. This is great. It's like the nectar of love. I feel like I'm Greek. Oh, look at that. As you can see, our glaze is glazing up nicely. That looks good. I'm actually going to turn the flame off now because you don't want it to burn because you know it's sugar. It's all sugar. So we're just going to turn that off and get our polenta going. You want to use a whisk so you can break up the pieces if they need to break up. Add a little salt, some peppers, good amount of pepper, and our sprig thyme, or thymes of sprig, or if that makes any sense. A drop of Scotch bonnet in there because I like putting Scotch bonnet in everything. And we're going to wait for this to come to a boil, but as it comes to a boil, you have to stay over the stove the whole time on start because it'll burn. And if you have to add a little extra liquid, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to continue cooking this. We're going to check on our lamb, and I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. All right? Thanks, guys. Bye. Very good. MegaMart's culinary journey, guys. Now, in this part of the show, we're going to finish up our polenta. We're going to finish up our lamb by glazing it with a sorrel glaze. We're going to make a beautiful romaine salad tossed with shaved red onions, dried fruit, and nuts. We're also, and edamame, or edam, sorry. Edamame is a Japanese green pea. Edam cheese. And we're also going to do a mango lassi, which is a drink made with yogurt, mangoes, and crushed ice. I also actually have a little mint for that, which is going to be lovely in there. So first things first, we're going to check on our lamb. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, we're going to turn this oven off. Pull it out. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Put it over here. The reason I pulled it out already is because I want it to rest for like 10 minutes so all the juices go back into the lamb so it doesn't dry out. From here, this is the easy step. All I have to do is take my glaze, like so. I don't have a brush, so we're being inventive. After all, we live on a Caribbean island. See? Oh my gosh, it's a brush. I'm going to glaze it nicely. Just like that. Oh, that looks really good. You hear that sizzle? Let's flip it a little bit to get the other side, because you know we can't be malice. We have to do everything. Flip that. It smells so good. You smell like all the allspice and the cloves and the rosemary and the sorrel. Right, that's lovely. Then I'll just use a little bit, actually, put this here. Just use a little bit of thyme to garnish the plate. We have lots here. Actually, let's put it up here. Get a pair of tongs. Now, if it was sorrel season, we would take some beautiful sorrels and put it on the plate for garnish. That'd add nice color. Just sits here nicely. We can save these if you want to save them, but they're nice and caramelized. They might be nice. We can put them on there for garnish. I don't see why not. Like this. And then I'm going to actually put my glaze back on the stove on a very low heat, just to loosen it up again. And we'll glaze it one more time before we serve it. So this we're going to put in the dirty, in the sink with all dirty dishes. Lovely. Now we're going to check out our polenta. Let's warm it up. I had it going over the break, but I didn't want it to overcook, so I just turned off the flame a little bit. So we're going to warm it back up. Take out our thyme sprigs. So let's get this on the stove too. I'm actually going to add a little water to this. Just a little bit. It's like maybe a tablespoon. Turn it on. Stir it up a little bit. Right. Lovely. If you wanted to add a little ginger to the sour glaze, it would be nice. But I figure we have so many other flavors going on, that should be fine. You have to think about that when you're composing a dinner or a dish. You don't want to throw too many flavors in at once. So if you notice, I have my lamb, which is kind of the star of the show. It's a sour glazed lamb, and it's studded with garlic, and it has all these beautiful spices in it, like allspice and cloves and cinnamon leaves. I did a very simple polenta with just chicken stock, a little bit of cream, a little bit of thyme, and that's it. I did a nice simple salad tossed with romaine and nuts and all that stuff. So our polenta is good. Let's plate her up. Always check your food for seasoning before you serve it. I think it's pretty good though, it should be fine. Oh, so good. I love polenta. I could eat like a bowl of it. And the chicken stock in there is, chicken stock adds such a dimension to it. Let's take our, oh look, I have a big ball of polenta in there. Oh no, that's a Scotch bonnet. Ready? Get a Scotch bonnet out. Throw that away. And let's get all our thyme sprigs out of here. We don't want no trees and we don't want no dirty fingers. So anytime you suck your finger like I do all the time, you want to wash it before you put your hands back in the food. It's such a bad habit of mine. Okay. Here we go. You see this glaze, guys? You see it's nice and bubbly. When it starts bubbling like that, it's nearly done. Put our polenta in. So yummy. Look at that. So good. Oh. Actually, I'm going to put this over here. Wipe up the edge of our bowl. I can hear my glaze. You can hear it. You can hear like how fast it's bubbling. It's, you know, how it reduces. If it's really watery, it goes really slowly, and the bubbles go, they're far between each other. As it reduces more and it's more thick, they're bright. You hear them bubble, 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 and you know that's time to pull it off. Okay, let's get this out. I don't think this needs anything. I think it's just beautiful as it is. Don't need no green or nothing. It's for here. What we'll do now is we're going to toss our salad. So let's pull out a red onion from right here. You want to shave it nice and fine because you don't want to overpower the salad with too much with the onion flavor. Take off the first layer. I already have some romaine in the fridge that's been washed and cleaned. And we'll add it to the onions and the dried nuts and fruit. You see how thin I've cut it? That is how thin you want it. It might take you a little while to get to that point, but it's a lot of practice, but it's worth the practice. Okay, done with this. Let's get a romaine.